financial problems, elder law, criminal law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by THAV GROSS. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's topic is financial planning for 2022. Brian Small, good morning.
Good morning, Ken. 2022. Where on earth did the year go? It is.
Oh, wait.
Zoom.
I can see that good mornings are going to take a while today. Good morning, Jeff Linden.
Morning.
Pat Smasco.
Hi, how are you?
I want to compliment you guys on how nice you look today. Pat, sport coat, shirt. Jeff, sport coat, shirt. Aquaman.
Aquaman?
Very nice.
That's the closest
Very
to
bright.
green you could get for the Michigan State.
You've kind of got a little Christmas Hanukkah spirit there, I'd
There
say,
you
with
go.
that color,
Happy holidays.
blue-green.
It's December. Come on.
We should be saying happy holidays, right?
Happy
Sounds
Happy
holidays.
holidays. All right, so today, financial planning. I just kind of want to do a little look back from one of our previous shows. As part of financial planning for 2022, I want to throw out the 3-point retirement plan. And remember, this is not your fancy algorithm plan. This is 3 basic points. Own your own home free and clear, have 0 debt, and have some cash in savings in the bank at the time to retire. You do those 3 things, you're guaranteed a retirement without anxiety as to having enough money to live on. Because your overhead is so low. You got to pay taxes and insurance on the home, utilities, your cell phone, food, and you're covered. You'll have extra money for gifts for the grandchildren. But the question that I want to start with is then, when I say have some money in the bank, how do we accumulate that money? Where do we get that savings from? So kind of just throw it out. How do you accumulate savings?
Not
Spending less
spend
than you
it.
make.
The easiest way is not spend it.
And what did you say?
Spending less than you make.
Yeah, same thing. You got to have a process to get the money into your savings account, retirement account, because the second it gets in a checking account, you're going to spend it.
I go with that. I think you need a process. You're kind of big on that concept,
I am.
aren't
Well,
you?
it starts with budget management, living within your means, and making sure that you understand that one of your required expenses is to spend money on your future, and your future comes from saving that money into a vehicle of some sort that hopefully grows and earns you some money.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of thinking like simple terms. If like one of the ones that I've used with my kids, which I didn't follow because my father never told me this, but I kind of brainwashed my kids by saying, just throw in the maximum amount into your 401k that you have to. It's not for discussion. You're being told by me to do it, and don't ever think anything differently. And they just kind of accepted it without ever questioning it. And they didn't think I was like, giving them a strict order, but they accepted that advice, and now it's ingrained in them. And the benefit of that is they don't think of it as a secondary reserve to go to if they need a source of money.
Well, that's
Instead,
great.
they think of coming to me.
Right.
But
Well, that's great. There's 2 parts of that, too. Number one, it's very difficult to get it out, very, very difficult to get out, which is great because it's designed to be a retirement plan. But number 2, just putting it in is the start. These young people, they don't realize that there's different options that you can pick within the 401k and how to invest the money. And they say, well, I don't want to lose it, and they put it in a fund that doesn't grow. Inflation's going to just eat away at it. So
exactly. Yeah, like in your 20s and 30s, and you're putting money in a 401k, you don't want it to be in a stable asset fund. You don't want it to be in a bond fund. You want to be what? Equities?
Yeah, because if you look at the S&P 500, which is the top 500 companies, that has outperformed all other investments bar none historically. So just find a good S&P fund with every 401k, or if your company doesn't offer a 401k, an individual retirement account, 403b, a thrift savings plan, and don't look back. In the market tanks, don't look back. Just keep going. The younger you are, it's called dollar cost averaging. You keep putting in and putting in. The big question is this: what kind of a 401k? Do you want a Roth or do you want a traditional? Do you want a Roth IRA?
What's the difference? I mean, and you said 401k. I thought Roth was an IRA.
No, you can have a Roth 401k or a traditional 401k.
So when you have a Roth 401k, can it be both, or is it one or the other?
You pick one or the other, or a combination. One, you pay the tax, and then you put it in. That's the Roth. The other one is you put it in pre-tax. So here's the question. If you're a farmer, do you want to pay the tax on the seed, or do you want to pay the tax on the harvest?
Seed.
The seed.
But even if you're not a farmer, don't you want to pay the tax
on the seed?
Well,
the IRS is really, 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 really smart. They want you to pay the tax on the growth, right? They want you put in $100 and then it grows to $1,000. The IRS would rather have the tax on the $1,000. So you have to pick, and you look at your tax brackets essentially. The younger you are, the starting out in your life, everyone tells you you don't want to pay any tax, you don't want to pay any tax. It's not the tax, it's the tax bracket. You want to pay the tax in the lowest bracket possible. So if you're an individual, you just start working at wherever, Chrysler's or GM, and your income's here, pay the tax and put it into a Roth.
And then when you take it out, there's no tax at all.
Ken's talking about maximum contribution as a young person. But reality is most young people aren't making enough money to maximize their contributions to their 401ks.
I don't agree with that.
But
most people overspend.
If you're able to put away $19,000 a year and you're making $45,000 a year in your first job,
your first minimum is always put in at least the amount so that if your employer's matching, right, you're taking advantage of that.
Then as you get raises, you learn to live on this, you get a raise, put extra into the 401k, put extra into the retirement. And if your company doesn't offer 401ks, go set up a traditional IRA and just have money deducted from your paycheck to put in.
And that can be a traditional Roth or a regular IRA. Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break. We come back. Have you guys ever hear the 10% rule?
The 10% rule?
The 10% rule. We'll take a break. I'll tell you about the 10% rule.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
You're all set to retire. You have your home paid off, money in the bank, and sound investments. But if you're not careful, all the things that you work so hard for can disappear. At Samasco Financial, we'll help you prevent that. We go beyond ordinary asset management. We'll safeguard everything that you have by creating a plan made specifically for you. How much can you afford to lose? Nothing. Protect the people that you love and the things that you have. Call Samasco Financial today.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
All right, so we're back. Now, it was a nice long commercial. The 10% rule. The 10% rule is just the rule that says take 10% of your earnings, always, put it into savings no matter what. Start doing that when you're young. Follow that rule as long as you work so that you live off of 90% of your income, and you're virtually guaranteed to be a millionaire, multimillionaire at retirement.
You know, it's funny.
That's the 10%
My
rule.
son was talking to me the other day about starting investing, and I was telling him there's different vehicles, et cetera, like a Roth IRA or maybe a 401k and things like that. And then I said to him, he says, how much money do I need to retire? I said, well, you need as much as you can humanly get, but let's start off with a simple contribution of $200 at 5% over the next 40 years. What's that going to turn into?
Huge money.
I said, that turns into over $350,000 just right there. And he's like, it does? I was like, yeah, you contribute $96,000 and you've got over $350,000.
Yeah.
Now start to do the accumulation, and as you start to contribute more, you can see how if you start as a young person, it's easy to get to that $1 million.
You know, it's fun
I have
too.
a question though. How does that exactly tie into the 10% rule?
Well, in this
10%,
case,
if he's making 40 grand as his new job, take 4 grand out and invest it.
which is what I.
So that was the $200.
The funny thing is that's actually about the $200. Yeah, it's right about 10%.
So what a great idea is, a lot of people have financial advisors, and you go meet them every year. You're supposed to bring the kids in with you. Let them learn how to do it. Let them help
You
pick
just
the
hit
stock.
to the next question. Is when do you need an investment advisor or a financial advisor?
Well, I tell you, it's funny because I talk to so many people. If they have a Fidelity account that's a 401k plan, and then they roll it into a Fidelity account that's an IRA after they retire, they'll probably do better under the Fidelity 401k plan picking their own stuff because there isn't any advisory fees that are attached to it. You really want to start looking at once you get out of once you hit retirement age and you're going to retire, a lot of times the companies, most of the times, they allow you to roll it out of the 401k into an individual retirement account. But the reason I'm saying it like this is if you have the exact same options in a Fidelity 401k that you have in a Fidelity managed account, why not keep where you're at in the 401k plan, right? You have the same options without any fees. The trouble is when you work at General Motors or the federal government or any company that has a 401k plan, they can't discriminate against people. They have to give them every option under the sun.
So you don't know which options to pick.
President Biden had the same options as President Trump, has the same options as the guy that's working at the federal security guard place, which is great, but they water down a lot. If you retire, you can roll it into an individual retirement account, and now you have the world at your hands, and you can pick things that may be able to be tailored more towards you.
What does the
specifically.
young guy do or young gal that's in the 401k plan and they've got a list of 30 funds to pick from? How do they know which ones to pick?
Well, that's a great question. For me,
Pick the
if
ones
you're
that are gonna go up.
Well, no. See, the funny thing is, it's not always on the go up, because when it goes up, you're paying more for a share. But if the market crashes, you're paying less for the shares, so you can buy more shares. So the ups and the downs do not matter while the guy's working.
That's the dollar cost.
It's crazy. Oh my God, it took me years. You look at it and say, oh my God, if you just leave it in. The trouble is, if people are going to freak out and jump out when the market tanks, Then they put it into that stable value fund. And then the market comes up and Jeff says, hey, I made 30% last year. Well, I want to make 30%. And they roll it back in when the market's high. And what happens next? It tanks again. So you have to leave it in the exact funds. If you're going to be the one that looks at the statement every day and lose sleep over it, you got to really tailor your strategies on fits your risk tolerance.
That's been my problem. I do that. I get a notice in an email that says something happened, which of course piques your curiosity, and then you look, and then you're like, oh, great, or oh.
I mean, I found that I didn't look at it at all when I was younger, and now I find that I look at it a lot. And I know that to resist that temptation, I made that error I did panic in COVID.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It cost me dearly because I took a segment of my account, effectively froze it at the low, locked in the loss, and it took me a while to realize this was a mistake because the market came back quickly.
Well, why though? Why? Because the federal government dumped so much funds into the banking industry to save it. Had they not, probably the whole banking industry would have went under. The thing
You
is,
think from COVID?
no, because the people, everyone was doing, they pulling money out of their banks, and they're pulling out, the liquidity went away in the banking, worse than it did in 2008.
See, I think if you have some self-control and discipline, I think it's good to look at your statement even when it drops. If you do, what I learned to do was I use it as an opportunity to talk to my investment advisor, because I started off, didn't know what was about. So like, okay, the market went down, I lost, whatever. What's your plan about this? What do we do about this? It's how I got information to learn about the investment strategy and the funds, by talking to somebody about it where I didn't know. Not because I wanted to move it. Or
Can
do
I
anything,
add?
But at least it started a conversation with the people who are helping.
It's so funny because the market's its all-time high. You call them up, it's, oh my God, the market's all-time high. Ride it out, keep it going. The market crashes. What do? Ride it out, keep it out. When you get out of the market, for those guys, it's never, because it's assets under management, in my opinion. There are plans available for people that are worried about the market crashing, which are the indexed annuity plans. You have variable annuities, fixed annuities, and index annuities. Those are the plans.
They protect you on the low.
As Ken said something earlier, he says you start when you're young, and you're not gonna pick those funds that are gonna have zero growth. But as you get older, having a good investment advisor is going to move your strategy from being aggressive to mildly aggressive, eventually to conservative.
Hopeful.
And so you don't lose what you got in the bank.
How much in all the funds in March? Every one of your funds went down, right? In 2008, every one of those funds, every one went down.
Let's take a break and we'll talk about how to get them back up.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Time for announcements. I want to remind our viewers to listen to us for Law and Reality Live on the Praise Network, Tuesdays 10 o'clock a.m., Saturdays 7 o'clock a.m., and on KISS 105.9, Sundays 7 o'clock a.m. Remember, you can always come in for a free consultation via teleconference, in office. You know, we're COVID smart, but we can do it in the office, or we can do it through Zoom or on the telephone, whatever makes you most comfortable. Just call 888-235-HELP or go online and sign up. We cover debt issues, tax issues, estate planning issues, business issues, elder law issues with Pat, disability issues with Jeff. Again, just sign up at lawandreality.com or call 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Also, go online for our free reports, Resolving Tax Problems, The Real Solutions by Ken Gross and Jeff Linden, Bankruptcy, Is It Right for Me by Brian Small, How to Save Your Home from Foreclosure, Business Formations, Loans and Grants for Small Businesses in Detroit and Michigan, and The Retiree's Guide to Social Security from Pat Simasko. I want to thank our sponsors, THAV GROSS, Simasko Law, and Kirshner Law. Now back to the show.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirshner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP.
Will I outlive my money?
Medicaid is so confusing.
A will, or do I need a trust?
What if mom needs to go in a nursing home?
At Simasko Law, we have the answers to all of these questions. Our attorneys will eliminate the confusion and develop a plan that's right for you. We are dedicated to veterans benefits, assisted living, and nursing home care. Simasko Law can help prepare you for a long future. Call Simasko Law today.
I love you too.
Bye-bye. That was Jerry. Emma just said her first word.
Oh.
Jerry says hello and they'll be over soon.
Who's Jerry? Is he a friend of yours?
No. This Jerry. Our Jerry. And this is his wife and their little girl.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP.
All right, so that comes back to, sure, if you're down at that point, if you ride it out and stay, it comes back up. If you go and pull it out, you're locking in your loss.
This is behavioral economics, and it absolutely is 100% verifiable. People's risk tolerance is based on how well the stock market's doing. The market's up, everybody wants to be all in. When the market tanks, everybody gets scared and gets out. So instead of buying low, selling high, they're buying high, selling low. So you have to realize that when 2008 happened, more money went into the market in 2007 than it did in 2009, when the market was in the toilet, when the people should have been buying. So you just have to look at that and see what's like the best plan.
If you do the opposite of what your innate instincts are or your wants are, it's the right move. But it's very difficult to do that.
Wait. I just want to point something out.
It's very difficult to buy at the time when the market's low, but that's the time to do it.
One of the reasons that people weren't contributing in 09 was we did have a significant unemployment problem at the time, if you recall. If you're unemployed, you're not going to be able to save. But at
Those are those same people that were in the year before, too.
But that's the same person that shouldn't be touching their 401ks and leave their IRAs and leave those investments solid.
That's where it comes down to this: is if you have money in your 401k, and your buddy needs money, and he knows he can borrow from the 401k, and he goes and tells you, "Yeah, I took a loan from my 401k so that I can buy a car or I can do this," and then you hear that from your buddy and the other buddy, then all of a sudden your attitude towards that 401k is it's your bank rather than your savings.
Right.
And as soon as you get into that mindset, you've lost a key component of what you need to hang
And let
on
me
to.
answer the question, follow up on that, is what Jeff said. When do you need a financial advisor? If Jeff, in that same scenario, when he was scared to death when March hit, and he called his 401k company, and you would say, oh my God, I'm scared to death, I want to put it into cash, they would say, click OK. If you call your financial advisor, they're going to talk you off the ledge. Jeff, it's okay, you were going to be fine. It gives you the opportunity to have another person to talk to. If you talk to the people that work the phones at Fidelity, 401k, or Vanguard, it's called locking in the loss. They laugh about it. Okay, turn into cash, click, okay. All right, he screwed himself. When it comes back up, you lost that going up.
Yeah.
And you never can time the market. If you think right now, like right now, inflation's going through the roof, people are scared to death, blah, blah, blah. If you're planning on timing the market, you are going to lose every single time.
Yeah, or you're just gambling.
Well, I mean,
it's gambling, and you might win on some, but you're going to lose in the long run. And you shouldn't be gambling when it comes to
how
your
much can you
savings.
afford to lose?
A little.
Then you should save a lot.
Yeah.
You should protect a lot. So the older you get, protection should become your
You
first.
actually have to get into a mindset that says you can afford to lose a little at least, because if you've got the money in the market and you have a fair amount of money in there, you know, if the Dow goes down 100 points, you're taking a significant dollar hit that day when you look at your account, and if it goes up 100 points, you make money. But if you're only happy on the days where it goes up, and then you're sitting there like moping around when it goes down 100 or 200 points because it costs you some money, you've got to get beyond that.
The solution's easy. Only look at your accounts on the day the market goes up.
That's basically. I follow that. I follow that approach.
There's also the other option, which is an indexed annuity, and everybody hates the word annuity, but it's designed to protect the principal 100%. And then the growth is tied into a various index, like the S&P 500. If the S&P 500 goes up, you share in the growth. You don't get it all, because if you get it all, you got to get all the losses. The market tanks, you don't lose anything.
You're just at even if it tanks.
So that was my point. If you're in a Fidelity account, a Raymond James or Edward, and you're going to go from a 401k to a managed account and have the same things, go in to look at something that may be a different option that you don't have available through your 401k.
We're out of time. I want to remember, you're a financial advisor and a lawyer. So if anyone wants that advice, Pat's the man to talk to. Have a great week. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality. Thanks for tuning in.